The Ready Clinic is an early intensive developmental and behavioral intervention provider, or EIDBI for short. We provide services for young children diagnosed with autism or other developmental disabilities. Anyone can refer to our services here. Referrals can come from a school, they can come from a parent themselves, they can come from a physician, an OT. There's lots of different options that someone can get referred to the clinic. We serve kids under the age of 7. As we know, autism is a spectrum disorder, so we have a wide range of ability, skill sets, and challenging behaviors that we see. Every child that comes here has an individualized treatment plan, or an ITP. It is created with our behavior analyst and our qualified supervising professional, and we have goals and objectives that are individualized to each child. In 2016, there were 13 EIDBI providers in the entire state of Minnesota. 12 of them were in the metro. 1 was in greater Minnesota. Our goal is really to provide and fill a service gap for our region. We have a need for children with autism and developmental disabilities in our region, and there simply are no other providers if we are not providing the service. Our children engage in several different assessments when they come for intake, and we really look at those results to design an intervention that is very specific to that child. We take our family's input as well to find out what are their biggest challenges that are at home. What would be a really big win if we could accomplish this for them and make this easier for them at home? So we take all of those things into consideration when we're building each individualized treatment plan so that it is very special and unique for each child that comes through our doors.
My concern was keeping their development on track and finding somewhere that would help. The Ready Clinic, they specifically work on goals that are specifically for your child's needs. And that is a nice thing because Brianna's needs are different from Erica's needs.
Brianna came with her sister. They are twins, and the level of need was significant. They could only come for about 30 minutes at a time, and it was a pretty stressful 30 minutes for mom and for both girls. To see the trajectory of where we are now, fully verbal, lots of language, sharing ideas, thoughts, asking questions, the imaginative play. Mom has been a great partner, has been nothing but supportive and on board with coaching and participating and being present and involved, and it just has made a world of difference for their whole family.
As a mom with twins who have autism, they get to be part of the community, and they teach the parents just as much as they teach the kids to give you the tools to help your kids be successful.
We ask our parents to come in for parent coaching and family skills training. We may work with a school to figure out what skills that they need to go back to that classroom. What are things we can do to mirror kind of some of those skills? We invite, if there's occupational therapists, speech therapists, other individuals involved with the child. We try to include everyone at the table so we're all working together to help our children be as independent as possible.
If you have the chance to go to the Ready Clinic, absolutely do it. They work specifically with your child's needs. It's not, here's a book, everybody read it and understand it the same way. It's what your child specifically needs. It feels good to know that I was able to turn somewhere where somebody could help our kids get developmentally on track, and just having the tools that the Ready Clinic can give you, it goes a long way.
Early intervention is very expensive for a 3-year time frame. If you're thinking about a very, very large investment in one specific child for a year of services, it can be a tough challenge for lawmakers and legislators or people to understand. Well, public education, that's a free option. And for many of our kids, that is a good option. There's a lot of our kids that are here and joining special education at the same time, but it gives you the opportunity for a certain group of our kids to leave here and not need any of those additional supports. The data says that kind of nationally, kids that receive early intervention services, about half of those kids can transition into education systems without needing supports. It also gives parents the best chance that their kid's going to have a really healthy, meaningful life the rest of the time. You know, they're able to enjoy family events, they're able to have relationships, hold a job, things like that. And there's a small percentage of our kids that will leave our program and still need supports, but they have ways to communicate. They have strategies to handle frustration. They can cope in lots better ways than had they not received sort of intensive services. This window of time is so critical for the development of language, for the development of these social skills, these really complex behaviors. In this window of time, if you can teach them other ways to communicate, they don't establish those habits, those behavior patterns that are really, really hard in teenage and adult years to teach in that stage. There are hundreds of situations in Minnesota right now of, had we had a little early intervention to start, the scope of that person's life could be very different. 1 in 34 kids in Minnesota has a diagnosis of autism. That is a lot of children. There are a lot of kids out there that we haven't connected with, and in an ideal world, there's no wait list. What happens right now is families call us, they wait for a year for the evaluation, and then maybe they have to wait another year for us to start services. And sometimes, depending on the staffing, we tell them they need 40 hours of service, but we only have the staff to run 20 of those hours. And so imagine giving your kid half the dose of medication that the doctor told you that they needed. It's such a narrow window of time that we have to really make a powerful impact. And not that they won't continue learning, but I want to capture that.
All of this runs through insurance or Medicaid funding. Medicaid rates aren't the highest. They simply don't cover the costs of our staff. And so we have to be really creative in making sure that we're making very good decisions, making sure that we are looking constantly for alternative funding sources, because those fundings simply do not cover our cost.
SWWC has taken a unique approach with the Ready Clinic in that we're a first come, first served provider. So it also means that sometimes there are funding gaps or challenges getting a family's services together because their commercial insurance doesn't always fully cover the services that we as providers are medically saying, this is what your child needs. And you can imagine if there was any other type of service, medical service that a doctor or professional said, this is what you need, and now the insurance only is going to pay for 60% of it, and the remaining 40% is more than your family could ever imagine paying. It's just really devastating for families.